Age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
If you came across someone struggling with hunger, how would you recognize them? By their clothes, their age, the way they speak? Would you notice a 16-year-old boy who got his first job,
not for extra spending money, but to help feed his little sisters?
Or a mother who's in between jobs and sometimes goes to bed hungry so her kids can have dinner? Or a 14-year-old girl who signs up to every after-school activity, not to make friends, but just to get something to eat? Or a retiree who fell ill and had to choose
between getting medicine or groceries.
I am the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger. People you pass by every day but never knew were hungry. I am hunger in America.
Hunger can be hard to recognize. Learn why at IamHungerInAmerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America, 200 Food Banks Strong, and the Ad Council.
How was your drive to school?
Let me tell you, I had to get my iced coffee first. I just can't seem to put it down. My favorite rapper just announced a tour. My phone was buzzing like crazy. I'm so excited. I had to text all my friends right then to talk about it. Then someone started calling me and...
Let's try that again.
I turned my phone off right away. I never drive distracted.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, welcome to Talkin' Tens with your host, Nebraska gymnast Kinsey Davis on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weeknights. I am Harrison Arns running the board, and of course we have the host, Kinsey Davis, here with us as well, and a special guest. Is this the first time we've had her on?
Yes, I think so.
All right, I'll let you go ahead and bring her in then.
Our special guest today is my senior, Catherine Thaler. She is from Texas, and she's very excited to be here. So hopefully we can get a good conversation going and hear some experiences that she has. So where are you from exactly, Catherine?
I'm from Texas.
What gym did you go to?
I went to Stars Gymnastics, and then my senior year, I went to Champions.
Oh, okay, cool. I didn't actually. Oh, yeah, we talked about that today. It was just your senior year.
Yep.
Wow. And so I know this is a popular question we usually talk about. Were you homeschooled? And if so, how long?
I was homeschooled. After my 6th grade year, I went homeschooled from 7th through 10th grade, and then I went back to school my junior and senior year.
How did you like that?
Homeschool?
Yeah.
It was good. It really helps me develop in gymnastics, and I really enjoyed it, but I think I wanted to go back to school, have more friends.
Yeah.
Just do something outside of gym.
Yeah, I have a similar experience because I also homeschooled in 8th grade, and then I went back to high school, and it's just totally different. Like homeschooling, my concept of time was just super off. Like I just feel like the whole year was slipping away, but going back to regular school was good, like socially. So
I was gonna say, when you guys go, because it's obviously like more common you see with gymnasts, when you guys were going through that homeschooling process, do you ever feel that you weren't necessarily getting everything else like other kids were doing in high school? Do you feel like you were getting something taken away, or is it totally like a sacrifice that you guys are aware and you didn't mind it at all?
I don't think it was a sacrifice or I was getting anything taken away from me. I think it was that like I wanted to do homeschool. I wanted to improve in gymnastics. Like my parents didn't want me to do it for a couple of years. Like But I eventually convinced them, and I don't think it was.
Oh, so it's your
sacrifice.
decision. You were
Yeah.
like, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm not losing anything here. I want to do this.
Yeah.
Okay, what about you, Kinsey?
I have a similar thing. I don't really remember discussing like if I wanted to do it or not. I just feel like it was the next right step for me. Same thing developmentally. I mean, in 6th grade I went to a public school, and in 7th grade I went to a private school that had more flexible hours. I had like satellite days I would do at home and then 2 days at school. And then 8th grade we went full homeschool. And at that time, that's when recruiting really kind of started. I remember getting a lot of college scouts at that age. I was like 14, which seems crazy now. But it seemed pretty normal. Like I feel like a lot of people did that, and it was necessary for me. I was training like twice a day. But afterwards we realized that I was able to like take a step down, and I didn't necessarily, I mean, I had the same goals for college, but that was kind of when I was doing like the elite route. And when I went back to high school, I decided I was just going to stay level 10, and I already had all my skills I needed. So there was no reason to do homeschool anymore.
Can you catch ahead doing homeschooling? Like, say, can you put on more classes than your average kid's going to take throughout like a high school semester?
I think you can for sure.
Yeah.
You could probably would know more.
I think I could have taken like AP classes if I really wanted to and get ahead, but like how my homeschool like schooling went, it was like I'm in 7th grade, these are the classes that are required for 7th grade, like, and then you took those classes.
So you didn't even try to get cute with it. You're like, I'm just gonna do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Because I always wonder if you can get yourself ahead almost. I know with the AP classes, like obviously if you're involved in that in high school, you can do that. But I always wonder what that path might look like for someone that's homeschooled. Like if you can even graduate like an entire 2 years early.
I think you can. In her defense, like if you're in 7th or 8th grade, I think some middle school stuff has to be fundamental. Like you can only get so far ahead.
Yeah.
Once you reach high school, I feel like you can kind of test out of things like such as math. I don't really know a lot about it, but I know people that have kind of skipped things that they could take a higher course level. And I think that can contribute to graduating earlier. And the common thing at my high school was like dual enrolling in a community college, because instead of doing APs, like that looks great for, when you're trying to get into colleges and everything. But for us, it was weighted the same to take a college class at a local community college we had. And it was kind of fun for me senior year because I hardly had to be at school because I barely had any requirements to fulfill anymore. So instead of staying in my high school and taking APs, I senior year got into this community college nearby, and I started taking intro level courses to college. Nothing like very hard, but it was exciting to do something different and not be trapped at my high school for like 7 hours a day or 6 or.
Yeah, we had that too, which is super nice. It was like you had to be able to take the AP classes, but if you were, it's the same thing. I think our schools because I'm from the Northeast Nebraska, we were Northeast Community College. Okay. And a lot of kids got ahead using it that way. You take those, and like you said, those intro college courses, like when you're in a high school, you're like, oh my god, an intro and then you kind of take it and you're like, oh, this is just a reminder. It doesn't really like take off crazy. But if you guys have any questions, like I said, we got Kinsey Davis and Catherine Thaler. Is it Thaler? Am I saying it right? We got these guys in here, a couple gymnasts for Nebraska. You can hit the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can also call in at the Honda of Lincoln hotline, same number, 402-464-5685. On a real quick score update, we do have NFL Monday night NFL in the background. It's not a great Monday night football game. It's probably what you expect. Right now, Steelers up 13-0 over the Colts. Yeah, it wasn't going to be a thriller. I think we all probably could have predicted that one. But if you guys want to chime in and all, go ahead. I know a lot of you guys probably got Husker football fandom on your mind, but like I said, we do got a couple gymnasts in here. So if you have any, questions, if you got someone that's younger, maybe interested in gymnastics, or even just curious about the homeschooling process, definitely feel free to shoot a text. But I do want to ask you guys real quick. I don't want to dive into too long because this is a gymnastics show. But if you could sum it up real quick here with the Matt Rule hiring for Nebraska football, how do you guys feel good about it, feel nay about it, or I don't really know anything, so no comment.
You want to go first?
No.
Okay. Well, I had a feeling you would ask, especially because I'm from North Carolina, so I'm a Panther girl. I'm excited for him to come, actually. I think that he has his rep following him a little bit, but I'm hopeful that his coaching will be good because he has turned around other programs.
Yeah, Baylor
So
and Temple.
I'm hoping that the success will be there in that sense. How we get there, I don't know how people are feeling. I think there's mixed emotions. I'm not on the football team, so I don't have to worry about that. But I know that some people have good things to say and some people might be a little bit
Skeptical.
yeah,
safe to
skeptical is
say.
a really good word. But as far as success, I think that, you know, a better change like this was needed. I think Mickey stepped in really good for the moment. But I also like to look at the higher power. I trust Trev's opinion a lot, and I think he doesn't make decisions lightly. So I'm hoping that he, you know, if he feels confident in this, that there can be a result shown by Matt Rule. So
I figured you'd have an answer because, like you said, you're from Carolina. So yeah, I thought you might have an option.
So I guess we'll see.
Yeah, and we're at that period. And then Catherine, I wanted to ask you. So Matt Rule really likes to practice the cover 2 defense. What do you? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not going to ask you about that.
Oh my gosh, I would have no idea what you're saying.
No, but I want to get that. It's fun asking student athletes kind of talk about other programs because we just had Nuri in here. He was kind of talking about it a little bit. He got to, obviously the team spoke to him today. He couldn't tell us what he was saying, but he could tell us how the team felt.
How he was feeling, and how was that?
Seems pretty open arms right now. Seems like everyone at least appears to be on the same page. Like, yeah, no, I think Mickey Joseph's still not certain what we can offer him to hopefully keep him around. Seems like we want him to stay. But he's going to have head coaching gigs other places. It just depends if he has a number, what that number is, and if we can afford it. So we don't know there, but it seems like with Matt Rule, seems to be welcome and open arms. It doesn't seem like there's any bad beef going around about him coming here.
That's good. That's like part of the, you know, thing is being open-minded and being able to change if that's what's needed. So
yeah, and we haven't won a lot of games, so it's hard to be like, well, you don't know what you're. It's like, well, do we? You know, it's been tough roads. So hopefully that goes well. It's a long off season. There's going to be, we'll probably win the off season again. Just if we can win in the regular season, that'll be important for us.
Yeah.
So as far as gym's going, how's it been going over you guys? What's the last update?
Do you want to talk a little bit about our last inner squad?
Yeah.
I know we promoted it a lot leading into it, but it happened and it went really well. So if you want to just say whatever you feel.
I think our team is gonna look so good this season, and I'm so excited to see what we're gonna do. And we still have ways to go, but I think where we are right now it's gonna be good. I'm excited.
So you said you got a ways to go. Where is the ways to go? What does that mean?
I mean, not a ways to go, but like just cleaning up our skills, like making sure it's hitting those handstands, pointing those toes, like the little things that we need.
The fundamentals that might catch you at the end when you really need the points.
Yeah, and those little details are really going to add up if you don't. So I think it's going to be so fun. I'm really excited.
Yeah. How did you like the Scarlet versus Cream dividing it? Because our upcoming inter squad in December will be just one team, very much meet lineup projections, and this last meet was kind of letting everybody showcase what they could do. Did you like how it was run, and like we had a turnout? How was that, do you think?
I loved how we did Scarlet versus Cream. It just gave us a little more competition, but like we were still cheering. Like I was on the Cream, I think I was on the Cream, and we were still cheering for Scarlet, but it was just fun to have that little competition. And we had several people come out, a bunch of people that came out, and it was a lot of fun to show what we've been doing to the fans. So yeah,
pretty good turnout though. And that was at the Devaney or PBA?
So this was in Devaney. It was in the Francis Allen Training Complex. It was our facility we train in, not the arena of Devaney, but still the same building. But we do compete in Devaney. So if there's any volleyball fans or anything else that comes in, watches things in Devaney, come out and watch our gymnastics meets because it's local and
it's a winning culture in Devaney. Can't say the same about PBA yet. So go over to Devaney, you feel pretty good watching some of the girl. I know the girl volleyball, they've been having a tough slate lately. They just lost to Wisconsin again, but that's just a team you can't ever count out. I'm still looking at Nebraska volleyball, wondering what it's going to turn into once playoffs come around. But you guys said a pretty good turnout. and you guys got to kind of show some of those things. So was that everyone doing like kind of their individual routines that you're showing off?
Yeah.
So did everyone pretty much get to go and compete?
I think a lot of people did at least 2 to 3
events probably.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you know this, but like not everyone does all the events.
Mm-hmm.
So I only do 2.5.
She does consistently competes bars and beam,
Yes.
and she's been training floor this preseason and pretty much has it all together, and so she's not giving herself enough credit.
Okay,
But,
so you might be on doing the floor.
The floor lineup is a little competitive, and it's
Mhm.
hard to tell, which is probably why she's a little hesitant. But you have 3 strong events.
I think hopefully I will get in at least one of the meets on floor, even if it's not just competing for the team, but like what's it called?
Exhibition.
Mhm.
It.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. So hopefully I get to do that and be prepared for that.
So what's your favorite event then? If you had to pick, or is it just a tie?
I don't know. So like I love training bars. Like I could learn new skills, do
Mhm.
just I don't know, play around on bars. And then I think lately, since I've been in college, beam has been my favorite.
Oh,
to
really?
compete. Yeah.
Why beam?
I don't know. I've developed more confidence in myself this year or this college experience.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's been really exciting to compete for them, and I don't know. Confidence, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, honestly, a beam is one where if you kind of slip up there, everyone's gonna see it. So it's probably one where you need the confidence.
Catherine has like this perfect mix of confidence on beam where she's steady but calm. And I mean, you're aggressive too, but I would consider myself like a very aggressive beam person.
You're very sharp.
And then there's some people who are just super graceful,
try to be
and
more
just
fluid,
very patient. And
Mhm.
if I tried to do that, you would probably see my legs shaking. And she has this perfect balance of both, where she has just enough power, but she's just steady up there every time. And she chews her gum, which if there's any judges watching this, don't watch this because I think it's against the code of points.
Is it really?
Heather told me that once, but
chewing gums, you'll get your points knocked off.
I don't know. That's what I was told, because you chew
I've
it
done
like
it since freshman year.
but you chew it in a discreet way. I chomp it.
You do chomp it.
Everybody can attest that. I'll be like doing a show routine. I'm like, one time I blew a bubble before my series, and Heather was like, "You cannot blow bubbles before your skills." But anyway, she's in her own element up there. So she's an amazing beam worker.
It sounds like you got an exciting roster coming up. Has anyone in that event where everyone's kind of showcasing their skills, and obviously you don't have to say they're the best, but just that day, did anyone like really stick out? Like, wow, those guys are already making, maybe if they're not the best, but just making strides in terms of progress?
Honestly, Asia. She has been working so hard. She looks incredible, more confident. I don't know. She's been doing amazing, I feel like.
She's a sophomore or freshman? Sophomore.
Yes. Okay. So Asia's a sophomore, and last year she competed 3 events for us. But I think what's different is she just lacked more confidence in herself last year. Her skills are the same, but she just really looks like she's grown into herself more and more of an athlete, and you can tell that. And so I think the same thing. She's been working so hard.
You guys are saying confidence a lot. Is that something you really have to work up into when you get to that D1 gymnastics, where if you don't have the confidence, you might just fall to the wayside because you just can't maybe trust yourself to perform with other D1 athletes? Is that something you guys had to really work on to grow?
I don't think it's trusting, or I don't know how to explain it, but I think for me, I need the confidence so then I can trust myself to do the skill. Even though I know I can do the skill, I could do the skill in my sleep, but if I don't have that confidence at the meet, I won't do as well. I don't know if that makes sense.
You feel unprepared. Like, again, I know I can do the skill, but when the circumstances change and there's a little pressure on you, you don't question. I mean, you do actually. You start to question, not if you can do it, but how well you can do it, and you start to get in your head and you maybe change things. And I think that having that rock confidence in practice and making note of that and making a mental note that is kind of your evidence that when you get to a meet, you can look back and be like, no, this is how many times I've done it, or this is videos of me doing it. I take videos of everything. So I can be like, I did it right there, like nothing's different, that you'll feel a better sense of preparation, which hopefully will give you the confidence because you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Because I mean, if I put out a 2x4, right across the road, I can walk over it no problem. You put that 2x4 20 feet up in the air, I don't have confidence in myself.
There you go.
My legs are going to be shaking
There you go.
uncontrollably. I'm going to take a nasty fall. So I like what you guys said there, but we are up to our break. This is Talking Tens. I'm Harrison Arns running the board. And of course, we got our host, Kinsey Davis, here with us as well. And special guest, Catherine Thaler, first time on the show, I believe.
Yep.
So we'll be back right after this. We got these guys all the way up until 9 o'clock. This is 93.7 The Ticket, Talking Tens. We'll be right back.
Check out and watch all of the Ticket weeknight shows live on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. This is Talkin' Tens on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
The Heartland Diamond from Sartor Heyman Jewelers was born from an unrelenting desire for more sparkle. Designed to shine as bright as your love, the difference between the Heartland and the traditional cut is clearly visible with the naked eye. By adding 32 additional facets, our skilled craftsmen have created a masterpiece, a diamond that truly reflects your passion and desire. Stop in and see the brilliance of the Heartland Diamond for yourself. Exclusively at Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. For November, they have tons of fall seasonals, and you can check out their Oscar Blues, Nebraska Brewing Company, and Broken Bat Brewing Company selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Don't let high interest rates get you down. Acres has you covered. For a limited time, Acres, the nation's largest combine dealer, is giving you 2% fixed rate financing for 60 months on select used combines. With this incredible offer, you could save thousands. Visit your local Acres location or acres.com to check out the widest selection of low-hour, late-model combines available. Don't wait. The great deal runs out at the end of November. Subject to finance approval. Some restrictions apply. Offer ends November 30th, 2022.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
All I'm simply saying is I hope that this was the best hire because we need the best hire here. And only time will tell if this was the best hire. But you gave him $9 million.
But that's the price of doing business if you're going to be Nebraska. If you go out and say
9?
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to take 9?
I don't worry about the money because Nebraska told me not to, and when they threw away 7.5 for Scott Frost with 2 weeks left.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
I don't care. Yeah, no, they're swimming in money. I don't care what they're doing.
It's crazy.
Neil Armstrong waited 6 hours and 39 minutes to step onto the surface of the moon. Jackie Robinson waited 20 months to play his first game with the Brooklyn Dodgers. And even DiCaprio had to wait 22 years to win an Oscar. You can wait until your destination. Don't text and drive.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of Pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Talkin' Tens with your host, Nebraska gymnast Kinsey Davis on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey y'all, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Kinsey Davis with Talking Tens, and my special guest today is my senior, Catherine Thaler. Also, if you can hear Taylor Swift playing in the background, oh, that just made my night.
I was gonna say, you got some new music.
Shout
out to Rico.
Yes.
Rico, if you're listening, appreciate it, sir. I'm pretty sure he's the one that put it together for us.
Yes, I sent him the song requests that I would like, so I don't know why I'm freaking out. I literally submitted this song to him, but thank you, Rico, for making this happen. But this is Talking 10, so we are talking all things gymnastics, and feel free to comment or call in if you have questions or want to know more about our upcoming season. So, Kat and I were just discussing the floor lineup. Once again, as we mentioned, she's kind of training that, I would say, pretty heavily. I mean, she's pretty much there. Something that's different this year we were talking about was our depth of floor. And for those of you who don't know, we do 6 up, 5 count score-wise. So 5 scores count, 6 girls go up, and you can drop the lowest. This year we have many more than 6 girls training floor.
So many more.
So it'll be interesting to see, obviously the top 6 as decided by the coaches who maybe are most prepared or most confident even will probably start us out this season. But as I was telling Kat, there's really no saying that she couldn't fill her way in at some point because floor, in my opinion, is the most probably pounding and demanding event.
And real quick, how many people did you say you have right now competing for floor?
Or training for floor?
Training, yeah, not competing, I guess.
You would know more than me. I think 8 to like 10, no?
No, I think it's closer to 10.
10?
And only 6 can actually compete, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's definitely some good competition there, healthy competition to kind of, see who can put the best routine together. But those who are maybe more experienced or have a more like natural ability for floor will probably want to be utilized more frequently. But if we needed to save them for any reason, or if they wanted to take a break, because we compete every single weekend, it's pretty demanding. Somebody might be able to just kind of slide in there. So I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on that, or do you agree? Or
I mean, I completely agree. I think that letting the 5 or 6 people that are going to give us the best scores, letting them have a little break is going to be so much more beneficial for them, for us in the long run. So hopefully that is something that we can do this year.
Yeah, which would be a win-win because, we definitely need to utilize them in postseason. And then also it would give people a chance mid-season to kind of showcase what they got as well, which normally, we haven't had that kind of depth. So there was no option but to put people in, that could do it, which ultimately leads to burnout. I mean,
Yeah.
we got through last season pretty well towards the end there, but it's always nerve-wracking when you kind of don't have enough people.
Same thing on bars. We've had so many more people. Like last year, it was only six of us that could actually do bars, and now we have, I think, close to 10, 12.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you guys got a pretty
nice.
skilled group. Sounds like a lot of people on your team can do multiple events. Am I right in saying that?
Mm-hmm.
So last year, you said you're kind of lacking in depth. What was the reason for that? Just recruiting, or just people weren't necessarily used to doing things that all of a sudden became open?
I think that. So when you say we have, a skilled group, I
Mhm.
think the group is really no different than last year. It's just that last year, I think our guard was let down in the fact that maybe people didn't train as much because they felt that they wouldn't, necessarily give a 9-9 routine. But this year over summer, our coaches really stressed like whatever you can do is beneficial. Like, please don't stop working things that we could use you on. And then they found potential in themselves they probably didn't even know were there. And now we have girls putting routines together that last year, not that they didn't really try, but it was just a thing that they didn't do that event.
Mhm.
And now we're only a month out from season starting and people have routines together. So it's come a long way, which is really exciting.
Also, I think it was injuries, and
yeah,
there was just so many people unexpectedly, not so many people, but a couple people that
Several.
unexpectedly got hurt. And so we were panicking and trying to find someone to get in to fill that spot.
Was COVID still kind of a thing for you guys last season? Or no, was it pretty much done with at that point?
It was done.
Okay.
I think we still had to wear masks.
Yeah, so we had one girl, remember, she had COVID the first meet and she couldn't
Oh,
compete. And
yeah.
then I remember like there were bus rides we were wearing masks because there was like concerns that maybe some of us did have it.
Yes,
I thought I
there's
had
some
it. So
schools
it's
that still kind of got hurt by it, but I couldn't remember if you guys did or not.
not as severe as the first year, but it still kind of existed.
And
but-
then Kylie missed 2 meets
Oh, yeah.
because of it. Yeah, and she was
Yeah.
our floor person, floor
Yeah.
and ball, and we had to fill those 2 spots. Like,
yeah,
Good thing you got depth.
yeah.
Yes. And so, we really say this in an optimistic way that
Mhm.
we're just looking back at last season, seeing how different we've done things this year and how, exciting that is, even all the way down to our conditioning, like how we can handle all these breaks and just keep coming back. Our body's sore, but I feel like our stamina is good because we put so much work in like July, August, and September that, there begins to be a time where you train a lot in cardio and conditioning, and then it gets too much because you're starting to add reps of gymnastics and you can't maintain both.
Mhm.
It's not sustainable. So we'll decrease in the conditioning, but now we're doing a lot of gymnastics, but so at one point it's helping you a lot, then it almost starts to hurt you because you're just like it's exhausting, so you kind of let up, and then now it's starting to help us again. Like now we're finding a good balance, and I think we don't have to kill ourselves in conditioning because it's just about staying in good shape, not really getting into shape.
Yeah, and I think like the conditioning that we have done will help us get through. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. I hit
No,
that.
you're good.
Will get us through the rest of the season, and that is like, I feel like last year we just didn't have that, and so it's gonna be so much better and so much easier. I feel like.
Yeah, this November inter squad was just really good for us. This is my 3rd year here, and it's definitely the best one we've had in 3 years. So it was really an exciting time for us. We all knew we had done well, and so now we're gearing up for the December one, which, as I said, it will just be one team and one lineup. So it's going to be really interesting as we just talked a ton about depth, how it's
definitely going to be competitive.
Yeah, and this would be the most competitive year since I've been here too, which is good because it's going to make us a strong team.
Yeah,
it's just
iron
going to
sharpens
be
iron.
Exactly. So, and I think it's great if everybody kind of gets a turn and you throw people in and out. Like, there's really no nobody has a chance. Like, it's all or nothing. It's not like that. So I think that nobody's taking it like that. I think we're all understanding that it is competitive, and whoever gets put in is probably like the cream of the crop, so to speak. So
I did want to ask, so I know for postseason with swimmers and divers, if you hit a certain mark, you can make it to, I forget what the qualifying match is, but it's basically NCAAs where people that hit a certain threshold, they get to go compete to see if they can go compete, for their school and win like an individual. For gymnastics, do you have a certain score that you have to make, and then you can make it to like an invitational for NCAAs?
Okay. It changed. I don't remember how last year worked, but I don't
like regionals.
So okay,
or-
so you're asking individually?
Yeah. So if you do well, I know for swimming, you can go compete if you
Yes,
individually in your event.
Yes. Yeah. Me and Davis went my sophomore year, so her freshman year, and then Davis went last year,
which was my sophomore.
So do you have to hit a certain score, or is that just end of season?
It's called an ROI, right? It's like averaging all your scores up, and then if you're in the top so many, then you get to go. And there's like 4 different sites that you get to go to.
Okay.
So I think it's called.
Yeah.
It might be called like an RQS. Is it not? Because it's a
RQS,
regional qualifying score.
ROIs.
So I think throughout season, although it's a team event and you have a win and loss
Right.
streak, and then you also have team, you want to try and get like a 196 or 197. Those averages will place you like in a national rank, and that is how you're ranked as a team. But your individual stats do matter. So, for example, consistency matters. So if I go 985, 9875, 99, 985, 99, and I kind of am hovering in this consistent area, you can have maybe like one. I mean, I think I had like 2 falls last year, but that was probably the max that I could have had. And I kind of knew that like towards the postseason, I started to get a little stressed because I knew I couldn't really afford another mistake. But what happens is the teams that do make regionals, if I'm not mistaken, those teams make regionals, and we were not high enough seeded to make regionals as a team, which means that you take all of those top teams of the country out of the running, and then after that it's like individual placements from those teams that are not already going. So for example, if teams have people who are getting 10s and 9975s that are better than others, but their team's already going, then you would get reevaluated and re-ranked. So
okay,
yes, to answer your question, that does happen in gymnastics. And we both went. There were 6 of us that went from Nebraska my freshman year, her sophomore year, and she qualified on beam and I qualified on bars. So it just means that your consistent score, like, what do you remember what you would have scored on beam? Like, I think you had definitely popped in the 99s several times.
I think I only got a 99 once, but I was really close a couple more times. So I was probably like a 9875 range.
Yeah.
For my RQS.
Yeah. So then those averages kind of
But you can really only afford a couple. It sounds like you can only afford a couple mistakes, serious mistakes, before you're kind of out of the running. If you have like 3 or 4 significant mistakes, you're probably not in the mix anymore.
Yeah.
It is intense. How'd you pull yourself together then towards the end there? That's a mean way to phrase that, because obviously you're doing very well.
No, that's okay. Yeah, it's just because if you think about it, like let's say you have a fall, you're automatically at a 9.5, if not probably less. And your scores are getting averages. So the lower you have and the lower you have, if you continue to do that, you need to probably be hovering anywhere between like a 9.85 and a 9.9 average. So if you are making tons of mistakes and pulling in lower scores, then it just won't be enough. I don't remember. I had like right in probably it wasn't even mid-season yet. I kind of had like, I was doing really well, and then I just hit like a moment, like a little bump in the road twice in a row. And then I don't really know. It was like a mental thing for me because I knew the gymnastics was there. I was just starting to question myself, as we mentioned earlier, because now I had made 2 mistakes. So I was like, okay, like what can I? The first time was bad, and then the next time I did it again. So I was like, oh, I really need to like not do that again. But the time I came out of it was big 5s, which would have probably been the halfway point. And that was just an amazing meet. And I wasn't worried about that at all myself. I was competing for my team. Like, I'm always competing for my team, but
the team performed pretty well, I want to say, at that point too. Didn't everyone do really well that day?
Yeah.
Did we get second?
We got second
in our session?
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was just an amazing meet. But what had happened was
I got my career high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
9.9.
I don't know, 2.5 maybe?
9.925.
9 and 5. I don't remember.
And you were last, right?
Mhm.
So we started on Beam, which is like the scariest place to start, I feel like.
Yeah. We beat Minnesota that meet.
We did. We beat
That
like
was so
I don't know what they
exciting.
were ranked, like number 6 or
Yeah, they were
8,
high up there.
but they were high. Anyway,
Sorry.
we started on Beam. No, I love reminiscing on it. It was such a cool moment. But we started on Beam, and Kat anchored us and got her career high, and we were on podium, so it's like super official. And you have to be prepared to start anywhere, but it's just we hadn't gotten a feeling for the equipment yet because it was our first rotation. So of course we would start on Beam, but we hit an amazing rotation. So
Yeah.
that just set us up for the whole meet. But we were hitting every person that went up hit, and then we ended on bars, and this is where I had issues. So I was like, okay. And the teammate who went in front of me had fallen, and then there was 2 of us left. So we both really needed a hit to not count her fall. So there was really no choice but to like step up and rise. So in that moment, I just gained a lot of confidence because I felt like I could handle going after her. And if anybody needed to put that on them, I feel like I could do it.
Yeah.
And then from there, it started to get good again.
So you had to just really trust yourself to pull through for the team there. Because obviously, unfortunate someone takes a fall that you don't want, but then you kind of had to reestablish your confidence there because you said you made that just 2 meets in a row. Was just like a little bump you said you had where you had that same error.
Yeah.
Real quick here, we don't got a ton of time, but as a gymnast, when you do the same thing wrong twice, how is that just brutal to get past, or do you have to, just rethink it and then just take a deep breath and say, no, it's fine, I still got it? Or was it a long process? Because obviously that meet brought you back alive, but what was it kind of like going into that meet?
It was not fun or easy. I was just, had self-doubt for no reason. Like,
yeah, because you were doing awesome before.
Not for no reason, because I had made mistakes, but I just personally have a hard time brushing things off. And I think if that had happened to anyone else, they would have brushed it off a lot easier. But I just was kicking myself a lot for it. And I just didn't want to make that mistake again. So then it overwhelms you and you think about it more, which is more counterproductive. So it's not easy, but somehow you get through it, whether that's just the support of the team or like more reps in the gym. Like something about you has got to get that confidence back up. But do you have any experiences of this too? Because I'm sure.
I mean, yeah, I probably have fallen on Beam and just like overthought it. Like I'm very similar to you, just like overthinking it and then trying to go back in the gym and making sure that every turn I take is perfect. So then when I get to that meet, I'm just as confident as I was before I fell. But
it's like you almost play this catch-up game where you have to do like double the reps, which is not the case at all. You just need to remain normal. But it's like for some reason we need to do 50 more to outweigh the one bad one. And I totally know like what she's talking
and like
about.
Even though like I did so much in that gym, I still have like this little doubt that, and I'm like, okay, I cannot mess this up. And you just think about it so much, even when you're on the beam after that turn,
Yeah.
Yeah. I will say it does seem like gymnastics is absolutely huge in terms of you need the confidence to believe in yourself and not because in football you mess up on the O-line, well, it's just one play, you got a million other plays. Gymnastics, you got to go when it's your time to shine. So we got to go to break though. Appreciate you guys listening. We got one more segment. This is Talking Tens. I'm Harrison Arns running the board. We got the host Kinsey Davis here with us as always, and special guest Catherine Thaler will be back right after this break.
Check out and watch all of the Ticket weeknight shows live on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers video stream on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. This is Talkin' Tens on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The place you call home should always be a place of comfort. Warm and cozy in winter, cool and relaxing in summer. If your home isn't delivering the comfort you expect, call Bryant. It's more than just hot and cold to them. It's about providing the best comfort solutions. And Bryant gives you a full 24-month test drive on your home comfort system. Get full details at BryantLincoln.com or call 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Don't let high interest rates get you down. Acres has you covered. For a limited time, Acres, the nation's largest combine dealer, is giving you 2% fixed rate financing for 60 months on select used combines. With this incredible offer, you could save thousands. Visit your local Acres location or acres.com to check out the widest selection of low-hour, late-model combines available. Don't wait. The great deal runs out at the end of November. Subject to finance approval. Some restrictions apply. Offer ends November 30th, 2022.
Trendy or traditional, Gary Michaels Clothiers specializes in men's tailored clothing. Off the rack or custom made to measure, there is simply no better shopping experience. Offering designer furnishings, sportswear, shoes, outerwear, and accessories for a man always concerned at looking his best. With world-class tailoring and personal service, all makes Gary Michaels Clothiers Nebraska's premier store for men. Come visit us now at Village Gardens, south of 56th and Pine Lake Road in Lincoln.
Hi, I'm Charlie Stone, and I'm back with Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, you said to me earlier you have a lot going on at the dealership. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Sure can, Charlie. As I've said before, if you don't see a vehicle on our lot that you're looking for, it's probably on its way soon.
So, how many new Hondas do you have in stock or on the way?
We have a total of over 325, Charlie, with a great selection of Pilots and Ridgelines in stock right now.
Well, we have been talking about the Honda of Lincoln way of buying cars for several months. How is that going?
People love it. We're buying all makes and models, whether they purchase the car from us or not. I mean, really, it's a no hassle, and we will pay them cash on the same day.
Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Mike Schaefer here for Trek CBD. It's football season, and that means you're tailgating with friends, or if you're like me, yelling at the TV during Vikings games. Trek CBD has a variety of products that help calm me down during the games, so I don't scare my dog. But in the rare cases that I yell too much, there's CBD products for him, too, and all other pets. Whether you're looking for drinkable Delta 8 seltzers, hemp-derived Delta 9 syrups for your beverages, or anything else, Trek CBD has it all at 84th and Aderman. Trek CBD, CBD done right.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. For November, they have tons of fall seasonals, and you can check out their Oscar Blues, Nebraska Brewing Company, and Broken Bat Brewing Company selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage stop at 1801 O Street.
At Venue Catering and Events, we offer two of the most historic ballrooms in Lincoln. The Jasmine Room, located in the historic Grand Manse in the heart of downtown, featuring a beautiful built-in antique bar, spacious patio, and soaring skylit ceilings. The Scottish Rite Ballroom, located just 2 blocks from the state's capital, boasts intricate hand-carved columns, rich dark wood floors, and lavish chandeliers. The perfect venues to host your wedding, corporate event, or much more. For availability and more information, call us at 402-603-6483.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Get a lot of advice about self-care these days, but one of the most important self-care steps we can take is making sure we're financially secure later in life. For small steps you can take to save for retirement, visit WeSaySaveIt.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Teal from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Talkin' Tens with your host, Nebraska gymnast Kinsey Davis on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey y'all, welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Talking Tens, and I'm Kinsey Davis. This is Catherine Thaler with me. As we mentioned a ton of times before, she is our senior, and that's both exciting and I don't know, maybe a little bit sad. I know I'm sad because I feel like we just started this journey, and she mentioned it in the car too, or maybe it was earlier tonight, that she graduates in like 4 months,
4 or
which
5
is
months.
so short. So I just wanted to wrap up this last segment by kind of asking her, just as an overview of her college career, were there any standout meets to you that are your favorite memory? Or
Well, when we were talking about Big Fives, that was definitely one of my favorite memories. And then it was my freshman year, and I had scored my first 9.9 on beam, and you just could see the whole team cheering, screaming, jumping up and down. There's like these pictures that are so fun to look back on.
Yeah.
And that was a big moment, and I love that moment.
Yeah, like a highlight for you.
Yeah. So those are a couple of my favorite ones.
Do you think coming to college, I'm sure you are totally different than how you came freshman year, as any of our coaches would say. Heather says, we don't want you to leave here as you were as a freshman, but are there any, distinct moments or things college has taught you for, characteristics or traits, anything you've learned? Like, is time management a good thing? Or like you had bond with the team? Is there anything that you came in from club just not expecting, but leaving totally different?
I'm sure there is, but I just can't think of anything.
Yeah, sorry, you're in the hot
I've
seat.
definitely feel like I've grown as a person, and I have these goals for my future that I'm so excited to do. And Nebraska has helped me with that so much, especially like with our life skills. Like, they have helped me a ton, and just somewhere where I want to go, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Come in just thinking about gymnastics and leaving with, a whole new set of traits ready to take on the world. And so we're going to miss you, but we still have a whole fun season ahead of us. So I'm so excited to see you shine on bars, beam, and floor, because this girl is going to go on the floor.
When's the first meet?
First meet, January 7th against Arkansas. It's a Saturday, and it's in Bob Devaney Sports Center. So if you're listening, please come by and join. You can buy tickets online. And yeah, this has been Talking Tens. Support gymnastics. We start in January, and go Big Red.